How cool are drones? Lots of businesses have sprung up using drone technology to take captivating aerial shots like the ones behind me. But what should schools do with this kind of footage, and is it worth paying thousands of dollars for? Big thing about this drone footage is where does it sit on your website or on your YouTube and other video channels? I think the big part of the confusion is if I spend a whole bunch of money on some drone footage, it needs to be in the header of my website. It needs to be the first thing someone sees, and it just needs to sort of sit there and play for 5 or 6 minutes. So if you sort of go back to the start of this video, you'll notice the first few seconds are the rooftops of buildings, aircon units, aerials, things that aren't really exciting. And the problem is when you have a website, you're really trying to capture the user's attention in the first 2 or 3 or 4 seconds of that page loading. So if there's a video in the header, it's gonna take a few extra seconds to load that video, especially on a slower device, especially if you're out rural on a 4G area. And if the first few seconds of the video are like just sort of a building, it's gonna take a lot longer to warm the user up. So the user's gonna need to sort of sit and watch this for maybe 14-15 seconds, and then they start to see more school imagery like students walking, sort of the flagpoles, other things. So these shots are a lot more emotive and they paint a better picture of your school. But they're still not totally amazing in terms of your ethos and like what makes your school special. Like every school in Australia is going to have a shade cloth like this one that we can see in the shot. It's not really unique. It's not really celebrating a big difference. It's great videography. It looks cool. And I'm sure it's cool to see the drone buzzing around, but it's not as sort of great from I've got prospective families and I want to draw them in. I think where the drone footage is really good is once, say, a prospective family has spent some time on your website, then they can go and like check out this footage and like see the buildings, the types of facilities, and that's a video they might watch 3 or 4 times. So when you're working with videographers, especially if you're investing a lot of money with them, just make sure to be really clear about the intention of the video. If you tell the videographer it's for the header of your website and you want it to be the thing that grabs the user's attention, make sure that the first few shots are really, really powerful when they put the video together. If it's more informational and if you're building value with the user as they're spending time checking out your school, as they're spending time on your website, then they're going to watch the video 2 or 3 times. So in that situation, you want to make the video really informative, have a bit more depth and detail, and less focus on emotion. So this website's a pretty good example of a header which isn't a video. And strikes a good balance between providing imagery about the school for the user, as well as helping the user navigate the website. So if you think about the types of users that you get, you've got prospective teachers, prospective families, you've got current families and students, and then you've got new students and new families wanting to enroll and transact. So there's a lot of different users wanting to do different things on the website. So a video up front is not going to be the thing that everyone is after. This header is kind of picking up some of the main things that a user might want to do. So get enrollment information, learn more about the community side of things, learn more about the learning ethos and the pedagogy of the school and those sorts of philosophies. So you can tell that this header is trying to cater for a lot of different tastes and service people in different parts of their journey, either just finding out and exploring the school as an outsider, or someone already in the community wanting to know more or access a resource. So this is the last example of a header for a website, and I think this is another great mix of using powerful images about the school as well as providing ways to find information. So you can see that each slide is taking users to a different part of the website depending on what they're trying to do. And so they're totally aware that there's prospective teachers coming to this site. There's people wanting to know to access student resources. There's people wanting to book tours. And images like the surfboard image and things like that show some of the uniqueness and the ethos of the school. So they're imparting some things that make them special and some things that make them cool, but they're also helping the user navigate to the right part of the website. So this is a great example. It's one of my favorite examples that we've done recently for websites. So I hope that's given you a bit of information about headers and what a user should experience when they first go to your website. And if you want to go out and spend some money on a drone video or any kind of videography for your school, just be really clear about, is it informative, is it promotional? I think the big pitfalls are trying to be both and trying to conflate what it is that you actually want the video to do. These kind of videos take up a lot of bandwidth, they take up a lot of money, they take up a lot of your staff time, and you really want to make sure that you're getting the best you can out of your video. I think sometimes less is more, and I think sometimes schools get caught up in needing to seem flashy or showcase flashiness or get in with a modern trend. And I just don't think that that's necessarily true. I honestly think that the things that make your school special and unique are the things that you cultivate as a school leader. They're the things that you've built with your staff and your students that make you proud. And if you can showcase them and bring those internal values and feelings externally on your website, you're going to get a lot of interest from the community, and you're going to get a lot of people wanting to find out more and hopefully eventually enroll in your school if they're a good fit. So I hope that gives you the confidence to stick some photos up that are powerful instead of shelling out stacks of cash for drone footage. But if you do have stacks of cash for amazing drone footage shots like this, I hope that you can put it into a place on your website that's going to maximize the value of it. Thanks for listening.